Meghan's Botox betrayed her. Harry reveals his broken marriage on his miserable face. As we reported, Harry and Meghan showed up again last week on a pre-recorded video from May, and the images of the couple on Meghan's birthday night out have confirmed a rumor that we have been hearing. We've believed it actually for a pretty long time. Meghan and Harry are divorced. Ms. Jana San, the body language expert, explains Meghan can't even look at him, a major departure from the claw. Harry seems to be losing his hair in clumps, not just on top. Stress-related? Both look very insincere, and you can tell they are faking being unified. Both seem to have aged over the past couple of years. Ms. Jana goes on to say she looks haggard despite all the fillers and Botox. Harry looks old and burnt out. Both look like druggies. The sugars must be wetting themselves with excitement over the lying traitor's latest shit show. This contrived clip shows how divided those two are, not fooling anyone except the poor deluded sugars. Sad but funny all rolled into one. This method, though, of trying to pull the wool over people's eyes sounds all too familiar. But it's about time they did something with all that money they have supposedly been collecting for charity. And I couldn't help but notice that Meghan changed her foundation tone just a little bit. She had to make sure that she was the right skin color, not too white. The phone call they were having, though, really bothered me. I hope they didn't have anything to do with judging the applicants for this grant, because what in the world would they know about responsible technology anyway? Meghan's face looks really weird to me, though. I do wonder what kind of facelift she got. Maybe some brand new one? I don't know. Clearly, Meghan and Harry do not operate within any code of ethics or principles. Both of them have some serious mental health problems, and both of them are in serious need of good therapy. They are not people who are qualified to determine what is best for themselves, and certainly not for the rest of the world. I wonder if Meghan's been taking that new weight loss drug, Ozempic, or however you say it. She was getting a little thick, wasn't she? Maybe she's trying to lose some weight so she can get herself a job in Hollywood at age 46 or something like that. Unfortunately, though, Ozempic is subcutaneous, so it bypasses the liver processing. The long-term use risk of metabolic drug use is ketoacidosis, and that's going to do a lot of damage to the kidneys. Let's give it another year, and I think a lot of those people are going to be in renal failure, and that's a sad thing. I understand. You want a quick fix, but it's important to respect Mother Nature. Meghan Markle already looks sick to me. Maybe she's already having some type of renal problems. It's not simply her skin tone. Her skin looks leathery and her eyes are all cloudy. If I'm being honest, and I'm not trying to be mean here, the first thought I had was that nobody is immortal. It doesn't matter how much money or fame they have. And the irony is, if poor health strikes, her security guys cannot save her. In other news, we need to pay attention to their involvement and interest in stuff like the Aspen Institute. It's trying to reform freedom of speech because the truth out there does not support their truth. They are not the kind of people who should be seen as acceptable influencers. They are dangerous. And as for trying to dispel rumors, well, their PR machine is working in overdrive. They're trying their best to control the narrative and take it back. I mean, they've always been doing that, and Meghan does have a firm handle on it. I'm pretty sure most people, though, have seen right through that load of nonsense PR puff. Sad for them that their little house of cards is collapsing in front of the entire world, and everybody's just watching. I seem to remember Prince Charles and the late Diana doing the same when there were rumors of their separation and divorce that started popping up. The palace called all the rumors false, and they tried to put the two together at more events. Do you remember that little show on the Love Seat? Yeah, that was a load of nonsense. They looked and sounded so dumb talking about bullying when they, in fact, are the biggest pair of bullies out there. I mean, who are they trying to convince? Who do they think is going to care about what they have to say, other than themselves, of course? Something is definitely up, though. I mean, they were just even less genuine than usual. That fake air of desperation is making it difficult to even breathe. The two of them are a couple of pariahs. And you know what? I'm happy about that. They deserve everything they get as consequences for their attacks against a lady of pensionable age who gave her entire life in service to her country and family as the Queen of England. They can never be forgiven for that. They're a couple of vile people for their continued attacks on people who cannot or choose not to fight back. They're just not going to lower themselves to the pit that Harry and Meghan like to live in. They deserve everything that comes their way. And I'm sure the family is angry right now, especially at Harry. Neither of them is going to be able to live down all they've done. And you know what? The kind of personalities they have are just not likable, not even a little bit. They justify being total idiots making a lot of money by being so conniving and so sly. They're incredibly toxic. When she was discussing Meghan and Harry's little couple video, Miss Jana went on to say it took 4 hours to film. A lot of it is photoshopped because Meghan wanted them to be filmed totally separately. Then the pieces are put together. So part of it they did together and part was done separately. Doesn't sound like they are still together. You can tell where the Photoshop lines are. That's why she is looking down but not at Harry, because she is not part of Harry's picture. It is a fake photo. Wow, they do a lot of photoshopping and making changes to think people wouldn't notice. That's why their kids are always different in some way, especially the one they did out of a magazine. I think we're all seeing right through this so-called divorce scam. Leaving a restaurant waving her hand without wearing any rings, walking around like some praying mantis pretending to see something in the distance. That was so overly dramatic. And then it's announced that on her birthday the entire family, including the children, went to a different restaurant. We all know how little kids do in restaurants. They don't sit for a long period. So why couldn't they just get somebody to cater in their magnificent mansion anyway, like the other celebrities would do? And then they can be sure that no paparazzi are around. Or maybe we're going to see a spread in Hello Magazine in the next few days. Rumor has it Meghan is also planning to go to Germany with Harry to an event that she has no business being at. So it's going to be 3 days of ill-fitting designer clothing and jewelry, a lot of their Netflix film crew guys, photo ops for the pair, and as last year, very little about the actual games and the participants. It is such a scam to keep their names in the media. Are they or aren't they? It's all just a game they like to play. It also does explain why wait until now to broadcast this event when actually it happened last May. Oh yeah, I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that the royals are on their annual vacation, so they're not in the press. Yeah, just a coincidence. Meghan and Harry are just excited because they believe they've got free reign now. Out of 9 headlines yesterday, Meghan and Harry occupied 6 with these ridiculous, historical, and dumb articles, one even before the wedding. I think slowly but surely, though, the truth is coming out and things are beginning to settle. I mean, living like they do, it has to be exhausting, right? I think all of their energy is spent planning and arguing and scheming. Maybe even threats of physical violence could be there. When do they even sleep? I can't imagine it's very easy to get relaxed enough to sleep when you've been fussing and fighting all day long. You know, in private, one sees themselves as the protagonist and the other the antagonist, and then it's flipped for the other one. As my grandkids would say, they have that main character energy. I think Meghan, though, is just used to this because this is what her life has been probably always. But Harry was at the other end of the spectrum for most of his life. I mean, I'm guessing he experienced a few bad nights of regret and shame. Just that the good royals don't tip off the paparazzi every time they serve the community to save their dignity and public privacy to consider. Last week, for example, William and Catherine traveled as public passengers on the tube to a country pub to enjoy a beer and have a good lunch. I just love how down-to-earth they are. Obviously, Meghan and Harry are still trying to compete with William and Catherine. I guess this is supposed to be a takeoff on the Earthshot prizes that are given by William and Catherine. It sounds incredibly similar. Way too busy making up PR stunts and announcements to really care about what they claim to care about. But if you ask me, Meghan and Harry couldn't come up with an original idea if they tried. William was out with his Earthshot Prize winner and they were having a lovely time serving some burgers. Meghan and Harry are just so incredibly jealous of William and Catherine. They're a couple of grifters sitting on a sofa in California. Meghan looked like she was sick and then Harry looked like he was ready to run away. Meghan and Harry don't have any involvement in Earthshot. They're just a couple of wannabes play acting at pretending to care about society and the planet, when really the only thing they care about is themselves. Harry is just eaten up with jealousy at his brother's success with Earthshot, and Meghan cannot stand how popular Princess Catherine is. Meghan also cannot stand it how well Catherine's early years development program is doing. William and Catherine, all of their programs are doing great. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan's foundation is going right down the toilet, just like their reputations and careers. My news today has ended. What did you think about it? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments section, and we can also talk about Meghan and Harry. Remember to like and share my video with anybody who needs it if you preferred it this evening. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.